The tale of cleverness backfiring is a recurring theme in history. Recently, the Ukrainian military's move to invade Russia sparked considerable debate and speculation. Many wondered if this was a strategic blunder rather than a calculated attack. Initially, there was surprise at Ukraine's offensive capabilities, fueled by the arrival of Western weaponry, suggesting a significant shift in the conflict's dynamics. The unfolding events contradicted these initial expectations. Instead of a swift and covert operation, it became evident that the forces involved were much larger than initially thought. The invasion escalated quickly, with thousands of Ukrainian troops advancing into Russian territory. This development led to questions about Russia's preparedness and the extent of NATO's involvement. As time progressed, the narrative shifted from an unexpected Ukrainian surge to a more nuanced understanding. The Ukrainian military's presence in Russia for over a month without significant progress raised eyebrows. Contrary to expectations, it appeared that the Russian Defense Ministry was actively countering the invading forces, reporting substantial losses. Further revelations from British media provided a clearer picture. Through access to Russian official documents, it became apparent that the Ukrainian offensive might have been a misstep aimed at potentially destabilizing the region rather than achieving a strategic victory. The insight into these documents highlighted the Russian military's awareness of the impending threat and their anticipation of potential tactics, such as targeting the critical Kursk nuclear power plant. Russia's proactive measures, including reinforcing security around the nuclear facility and the consistent reports of Ukrainian forces being neutralized, suggest a well-prepared defense strategy. This counters the notion that the Russian military was unprepared or caught off guard. The detailed accounts of the conflict's progression, emphasizing the scale of the Russian response, underscore the complexity of the situation and the strategic implications of both sides' actions. The situation in Ukraine has indeed evolved as predicted, with continuous reinforcement of troops by both sides over the past month. It is announced that only 10,000 soldiers would be dispatched, but this number has significantly increased, including a notable presence of NATO nations' forces, such as French and Polish soldiers. This combined Ukrainian NATO contingent is facing substantial losses, which explains their lack of progress. For Putin, this development might seem advantageous. The Eastern Front is currently in a stalemate, with both Ukrainian and Russian forces experiencing challenges in maintaining sufficient numbers for effective combat. Attempting to decisively eliminate thousands of enemy troops under these circumstances is a significant challenge. Ukraine, however, seems to have adopted a strategy to lure Russian reinforcements into a potential trap at Kursk, hoping to exploit perceived vulnerabilities. Putin's strategic response involves creating an illusion of an empty rear, encouraging an invasion that appears advantageous. This tactic has resulted in a unique scenario. While Putin may outwardly appear agitated due to the breach of his territory, he maintains a calm demeanor, visiting foreign nations even after the incursion. The outcome of this confrontation reveals that Putin had anticipated such a move, ending up a scenario where Ukraine would be drawn into a dangerous position. Despite initial successes in penetrating Russian territory, Ukraine's military has suffered significant losses, with thousands of soldiers being eliminated. Zelensky, initially elated, now faces a dilemma. Withdrawing could lead to severe repercussions, both domestically and internationally, given the initial claims of Russian vulnerability and Ukrainian military prowess. Zelensky's military gamble aimed to alleviate pressure on Ukrainian forces in the east, but instead it appears to have backfired. Putin's strategy effectively traps Zelensky between a rock and a hard place, continuously sending more troops and leads to their elimination, exacerbating the issue. Ceasing the operation is not a viable option due to international expectations and the initial promises made regarding Ukraine's offensive capabilities. As a result, Zelensky finds himself in a precarious position, with the option of continuing to send additional forces leading to further losses, or withdrawing, which could undermine his credibility and the narrative of Ukrainian military superiority. With the current state of affairs, it's evident that Zelensky's military endeavors are unlikely to achieve the desired outcomes, and without negotiations from Russia, the future prospects for Ukraine seem grim.